Vikas, thanks for joining in. Let me start off with your current view at this point in time. As an investor who has been recommending clients to do so much, what is the way forward at this point?
So right now, our markets are completely gripped with this fear and panic. There's no doubt on that. And that fear and panic is also, well justified, because the kind of development which has happened over the last 2-3 days is really worrisome. This might kind of lead to in some sort of protected slowdown in the global economy, which has been kind of being called out for so long. So, well, there could be two kind of outcomes that, if this coronavirus recedes or slows down and normalcy resumes in China and comfort starts coming back as we have onset of summer, I think world economy and markets probably will get a lot more comfort and breather. And if it gets sort of protected and delayed for some time, I think it could be generating quite a bit of financial damage. As you've seen that oil was a collateral damage, which was not on the card about 2 weeks ago, but today, last 2-3 days, what we have seen is completely unprecedented. And the second order or third order effect of this kind of fall in the commodities or asset prices is always devastating. It is never simple and it is never small. So I think, to some extent, there's a reason to worry. But I'm quite confident that this panic will settle down soon. As far as India is concerned, I think India, at the margin, stands to benefit and also remains largely unimpacted with the global slowdown. India is, we have not also, it's not that we've been doing very well as a market for the last 5-6 years. We've been underperforming. So we've been underperforming market. On the top of it, we have seen 20% correction in the stock in the index. So we are at that stage, and lots of interesting things are ahead of India. And if the oil price remains where they are, commodity prices remains where they are, it can at the margin benefit India, and manufacturing side and supply chain can also benefit post-coronavirus to India.
Right.
So in the medium term to long term, I think India will stand to benefit. But short term, I think we have to go through a painful and volatile period over the next probably a couple of months.
Okay. So, Vikas, what do you do if you are interested in the markets? I suppose that you can start nibbling in at these levels, or would you want to wait and watch?
No, absolutely. These are the levels to. I believe that we are very close to the bottom. Nobody can call out bottom for sure, but I believe that large part of the damage is already done. Whether it is 80%, 90%, or 100%, nobody knows for sure.
Yeah.
So, I would say that it's a time to start nibbling if you are.
And what areas?
Invested.
And what areas would it be, Vikas?
So again, I think I do believe that a lot of stocks and businesses which has no relation to the current ongoing crisis have also corrected. So let's say, for example, in banking and financial services space, non-credit sector, remains unimpacted by and large. And I think as and when things come back, they will continue to do well. Within that, even private banks in India, which are not much exposed to any of the commodity cycle, can end up doing very well. So I think, the entire basket looks interesting.
Okay.
And consumption basket, I don't think anything has materially changed or would materially change. In fact, at the margin, again, it tends to benefit because of low commodity prices. So I think consumption will continue to do well, in my opinion. So, likewise, India's story, in my opinion, will not change much. My manufacturing plays come into play. One can look at some of those segments and sectors. So by and large, I think, in India remains well positioned. But yes, we'll have to, like all other markets, we'll have to go through the pain and volatility.
Okay. All right, Vikas, we leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your take on how things are and what an investor can do in these markets. So there you have it. That's a veteran from the industry who's suggesting you need to heed more caution at this point in time, but we are not too far away from the bottom, and this is perhaps a time where you can start nibbling into certain sectors, certain pockets in Indian equities. But on that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to BloombergQuint.